Good morning everybody, welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. And this morning we're going to take a look at a really old shop in Fleetwood on the High Street. And before we get to that, I thought you might just be interested in a look at this. I'd seen on Facebook that the old health centre was being demolished, and I think it's fair to say it's gone. So we're currently you can't see it through the trees, but the mount is just at the end of there. I think this is, yes it is, it's London Street. So we're just literally a stone's throw away from the town centre. So I'm not sure what they're doing with this plot, but nonetheless it was an eyesore, so it's good news that that's gone. So that's today's interesting little bit of information. So we're going to go and take a look at a shop that dates back to 1898. There are some really lovely old buildings in Fleetwood. All you need to do is just look up. I mean, just look up there. Look at the architecture on the upstairs of the buildings, and some lovely old pubs as well. So we're going to go and take a look at this little shop, which is just up here. So I thought while I'm walking towards this little shop, you might enjoy a little look at Fleetwood in lockdown, because it's a few weeks since we came into Fleetwood town centre. And today's the day that Boris is making the announcement about easing lockdown, hopefully for the last time. That's the health centre on Dock Street down there. And these are, I mean, look at that face here up there. They just don't put things like that on new buildings. It's really amazing what you see when you look up. So we're heading off in that direction, just at the right hand side of what is now Pound Stretchers. And as you can see, everything is closed. Everything is closed, and we don't know yet when everything's going to open. Looks like there's some work going off here. Can't quite remember what that one was. She says trying to look underneath the boards. Money traders. Money traders must be having roofing problems. This is the back of Asda, and that obviously is Dock Street. So the building we're going to take a look at is just on the left here, past Heron Foods. The big one with the orange glass windows is Pound Stretchers. The one next to it in yellow is Heron, and we're going to see what is now known as Hearnshaws Antiques, which is next door. Now this shop originally opened in 1898, and back then Lord Street was called West Street. Didn't know that. I didn't know that until this morning. The things I've learnt in making videos, it's been a voyage of discovery. So apparently this was known as West Street and East Street until 1899. And the shopkeepers, 62 of them, petitioned the council to get it renamed as Lord Street, because Southport and Liverpool had got a Lord Street, and they thought it would make it a more prosperous area, and that they would earn more money if it sounded better. And the tramway had just been laid as well in 1898, so this is what we're aiming at. Hearnshaws Antiques and Vintage Limited, which, like everything else, is closed. So I thought it was a good time to do this, and we could stand and have a really good look. The Royal Oak is another really old building. I've been in there and it's amazing inside. When they took it over and started renovating it, I went in with the landlord, and it's a lovely building. Anyway, back to what we're supposed to be talking about. So Hearnshaws You might remember it as an electrical shop, and that little shop at the right hand side, which is repair for phones, tablets and laptops, was a furniture shop, and I can remember going in there ever so clearly. Sold all kinds of different things in there. And when the tobacconists closed, Hearnshaws bought the tobacco shop. So it was originally opened as a sweet shop by a pair of sisters called Mrs. Clancy and Mrs. Gill, and I'm going to show you a picture of what it looked like in its heyday. Are you ready? Now the ink's coming off this, it's a black and white picture, so I'm trying not to get ink all over my fingers. Are you ready? Right, so that's what it looked like back in the day. I'm not sure exactly what date that dates back to, but it's Besford's, so it's got to be a pretty old one. And for many, many years you could see the ghost of the sign on the wall outside when it was Hearnshaws. And there's an article on our Visit Fleetwood website about the shop and some of the history of Old Fleetwood. So you might find that an interesting read. I'll pop the link in the description below. So Mrs. Clancy and Mrs. Gill sold it to a guy called Theodore Clegg. Apparently he was into fish and chips, and it was renamed the Olde Bacca Shoppe. And in the 1920s it was renamed as Besford. So that picture I've just shown you must date from post 1920. And for a short time was Yale cabinet maker, and then from 15th of March 2019 it's been known as Hearnshaws Antiques and Vintage. So we're going to take a little walk across the road, and we're going to go and have a look through the shutters and see what they've got in here, because I've seen some of the stuff that they've got in, and it is an interesting shop. It's got all kinds of interesting stuff in it. So let's see if we can have a look through the cracks, as it were. So there's some pictures there of Lowry prints, or Lowry-esque prints. Oh no, they're not. David Priesel, does it say? I think it might do. So he's obviously, David Ansell, sorry, I'm a bit nearer now, I can see it properly. So you can see inside the shop there's some right nice stuff in there. When it reopens, find us on Facebook, Hearnshaws Antiques, there you go. And in 2016, the front of the shop was finally refurbished and tidied up so that it continued its previous old history. But you can just about see what's inside without the reflection on the glass. You can see a lovely penguin there. So we shall come back one day when the world opens up, and we shall see what is actually inside this shop, because I think it's worth another visit. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with your friends, pop us a comment below if you've got any questions, or you know anything about the history of the shop. And don't forget to subscribe to Visit Fylde Coast, and then when we upload new content or make live videos, you will be the first to know. Have a lovely day now, and we'll see you soon from a cool February morning in Fleetwood. Bye for now.